designed to walk you through the steps of completing the summative assessment for primary and secondary sources in ancient to pre-modern world history. From Classroom, please go to Classwork. You're going to find Unit 1, Paleolithic to Neolithic, and find the assignment called Primary and Secondary Sources Summative. When you open it up, you will have several things to look at. Let's look at the first one, which would be the shared sources document that people in class worked on. You are going to pick one primary source and one secondary source to analyze for this summative assessment. You have a library of sources here that have been linked by classmates to choose from. You can certainly find your own source if you want, but the easiest thing to do would be to choose from here. Now go back to the assignment, and you are going to be asked to do the following. You are taking two sources, one primary and one secondary. Remember, it is from this doc here that you're choosing from, as things are loading slow here, but choosing one primary and one secondary and taking those links and linking them to this assignment. Highlight the word link and then hit insert link, and your URL can go right there, and I'll know which source it is that you are assessing. So, with the source, you have to ask yourself, how do I better understand the present? How do I make informed decisions about the present? How do I better understand the future? And how do I make informed decisions about the future? You're doing each of these with both sources, primary and secondary. So there's one other thing that will help you. Excuse me. This primary and secondary sources, better understanding the present and future. If, for instance, your source has to do with cave paintings, then you have to think about how do you better understand art in the present based on the fact that you're interpreting some cave painting that was made during the Paleolithic era, in 1 to 2 sentences. Same thing, if you're looking at a selection of tools that were created by Paleolithic people, you have to think to yourself, how does this help me to better understand technology in the present? And you're going to say it in 1 to 2 sentences. If it happens to be clothing, you have to be thinking about meeting basic needs in the present. How do we go about meeting basic needs, and how do you have a better understanding of how humans do that from analyzing your primary source that might have an example of Paleolithic clothing? Same thing with the future. Not only are you thinking about how you better understand the present, how do you better understand how mankind is moving forward in their creation of art, or in their advancement of technology, or in their meeting their basic needs. Again, I just use those 3 examples because most of the primary sources that you're going to look at would be images of either paintings, tools, or some sort of Paleolithic clothing. So again, it's going to be easy if you use one of those examples and then think about how will you better understand where art is moving in the future. From your understanding, then you have to think about making a couple of sentences about how do I make informed decisions about the present? How do I, myself, make decisions about the present and the future based on my better understanding of this knowledge from the sources that I looked at, both primary and secondary? I hope this helps. I know this was really higher order thinking and was a struggle for some people in class, and I completely understand that. I'm here to help if you need it. Find me in class or feel free to email me. I certainly hope that this screencast presentation helped to walk you through the steps. Good luck.